Okay, we had the new parts come through from the factory. We'll get them on the car ahead of FP1.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the fourth race of the season for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku, and this is a race that I've known was going to happen for a long time, and one that I'm not looking forward to. Hopefully it goes better than expected. We do have two upgrades in the car for this weekend. One of them only performance related in the form of an engine power upgrade. We also have control electronics for durability. And if you guys did miss the last episode at China, so far I'd say the best race of the season so far. In amongst our struggles. Do check that episode out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But as you can see, we currently have our first upgrades of the season, along with a bunch of other cars, a few people developing their car. We do remain in second place though in the R&D development, so making progress. In practice 1 it was actually wet, as you can see in the background here, so I didn't actually go for any running. I just skipped straight on to practice 2 because there's no point doing tyre wear test or fuel management or ERS management when you've got wet conditions, because it's not accurate. So we just basically skipped to practice 2, and in practice 2, because I had a limited amount of tyres, I did the necessary program. So I literally did the tyre management to get a feel for the track, the track acclimatization to get a feel for the track, and then we did the race strategy and also the qualifying performance test, pretty much, just doing the important ones. And to be fair, the car felt good. I was happy with the setup I had, and I felt a very nice balance with the car. And I thought to myself, for the first time in this is the third time we've arrived here now in F1 2018, for once I felt like I had a car that was capable of doing well. However, the lap times did not reflect that, and we were still quite a bit off the pace. However, the main thing is that the car feels good, and if the car feels good, you can make something happen. So straight away we delve into Saturday qualifying. I think setup wise I was using I want to say 2.5 on the wings. I think 2.5 on the wings, if not 3.6, one or the other. I think 3.6 actually. I was running 3.6 aero and then ballast on 7, and that was working for me quite nicely. I also brake bias. I was unsure on the brakes whether to run 54, 56. I had pressure on 78, and there was a question of 56, 54, and depending on certain corners. In the end, I think I set up for 76 in the race. In qualifying, I tried to go with 74, and straight away in Q1, as you can see here, we go up on the intermediate of the 3 tyres, the middle one, which is the super soft compound tyres. The soft being the slowest and the ultra soft being the fastest. Speaking of which, we would go back out on those tyres for one final run in the session, and straight away you can see already up on the Delta turn 1, not too bad. However, we got a poor exit, and I'm going to show you guys sector 1 and 4 because you'll see what I mean. On the ultras we've got a bit of a chip on our shoulder because we need to try and find a second and a half to get through. And turn 2 was okay, but turn 1 we got such a good entry, but the mid corner and the exit was terrible. We threw away like 0.2 of a second, and even again through 3 and 4, not the best, and we're only just pretty much a tenth up on my previous attempt. So I reckon I could have found probably another 3 or 4 tenths in the first sector if I got it perfect. So already a lot of lap time thrown away, and we're 1.1 off the pace after one sector. Sector 2 was actually really good. We got a really good run, and now through sector 2 you can see that we've actually done pretty well, and we're only 1.9 off the pace now, but we've improved, and we're nearly 8 tenths up on our previous best. So a massive improvement in the second sector with one more sector to go here. But unfortunately we're not going to find another 7 tenths on just one straight, so unfortunately we're not going to get that gap. Is it still going to be enough to get us through into Q2? Let's wait and find out. So far so good. The battery is running out, and it just runs out there up to the line, but we do just enough in terms of finishing the lap. Is it enough time wise to get us through? And it is not. Only P17, and yet again a 4th Q1 knockout in a row in our Red Bull debut season. So a disappointing qualifying yet again. I'm starting to get really frustrated now, but then again I've got one eye on the race in terms of strategy, and also one eye on Spain in the next race to really try and turn my season around. But overall, P17 for us, nowhere near getting through into Q2, and unfortunately that's going to be the end of our qualifying session. So with that being said, let's jump into the race and try and turn it around on the Sunday. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7 mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. No grip penalties, no mitigating circumstances, just a poor qualifying performance and a very disappointing start position for them today.
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and starting alongside him P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon and Perez, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Sainz and Charles Leclerc, Sirotkin, Hartley, Lewis Hamilton. They've taken a grid penalty. And Stroll, Gasly, Grosjean, Martinez and Fernando Alonso. Van Dorn and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right then, it's time for Baku. P17 on the grid. Not a great qualifying. We've got it all to do in the race. I knew we'd struggle around here, so it's not really a surprise to me. However, it is a bit surprising how far off the pace we really are. So I'm just hoping we can basically turn it around and turn our fortunes around on race strategy merit. Now, speaking of which, we're going to go for a one-stop here today. Start on the slowest tyre, which is the soft, transition to the super. Originally, I was proposed the opposite, but the reason I've changed it, it's not because... I mean, I normally run the slowest tyre first anyway, but I would have actually run the super soft first here. But the reason I've actually gone for this strategy is because of the chance of rain at the end of the race. I want to be on the slightly more grippy tyre at the end of the Grand Prix, so hopefully that will help me out. So I'm kind of banking on a little bit of rain arriving. You never know, maybe some possible intermediates to try and spice it up at the end. But I'm also hoping my strategy does enough for me. I'm kind of banking as well that I'll have a lot of pace on this soft compound tyre at the start of the race. Fuel-wise, we are quite heavy. Originally, I was recommended to do 26.5 laps. We've gone for 28.5, so a whole 2 extra laps of fuel more than the original allocation. So we're going to be heavy, but we're going to need rich mix around here to try and defend ourselves and also attack if necessary. But with that being said, let's jump into it here for the race at Baku and let's see how things shape up for round number 4 and the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here at Baku. Low revs, 5 red lights are out, and we're underway for round 4 of the season. It's not too bad of a start to say we started on the soft compound tyre. We look for the outside line to turn 1. A little bit of contact there to my left. I saw debris flying off. We're currently holding on to our start position. We switched to the inside line into turn 2 to get the inside of Grosjean if possible. And we do get the move done there. P16 for us. Grosjean, though, going for the re-overtake. We're going to cover off the inside line. Force Grosjean the long way around in the Haas car. Got to be careful here with the guys in front who will brake very early when it comes to defending our position. We do just edge out in front of Grosjean here. And I get out of shape on the brake and trying to go up the inside of Pierre Gasly there, but I back out of it. Otherwise, Pierre would have just turned right across me there. Hamilton's down in P14 in the Mercedes, so he's had a bit of a poor start. So it's looking okay so far. Better than I expected. Now we're going to really find out if this tyre has any sort of pace. Obviously, early on, everyone's going to get held up by traffic. So that's going to be good news for us in terms of sticking with the pack and getting more competitiveness out of this tyre, because the longer we stay with the pack, the better our chances over the race. So I'm kind of relying on early race battles here. That's how you normally do well on a one-stop strategy. So far though, Grosjean's lurking just behind me. He can't seem to, or I can't seem to shake him off at the moment. I'm having to use rich mix already here, and I'm still in hot lap ERS. But that is pretty much a decent lap 1, a decent opener. Now let's focus on trying to stay with the pack here. Okay, then here comes Roman. He goes to my left-hand side. Got the momentum. I wasn't close enough to Gasly to really pick up the toe. I've switched my brake bias to 56 towards the front. Hopefully that will help me out. We've just edged in front of Grosjean here into turn 1, and we get to stay in front. Luckily Grosjean doesn't commit to the move, so we stay ahead for now. But I can't have hot lap ERS engaged forever, so we need to kind of break away if possible. That's a nice bit of traction out of there, to be fair. It's going to buy me enough time to stay ahead on the straight. We can now go down to medium ERS and save the battery a bit. Gasly and Stroll here going side by side. Gasly just gets the move done on the Williams driver. Lance Stroll seemingly going backwards. However, that car, we know how fast it is on the straight. So we're going to have to work to get past him. However, Gasly, another contender that is really far down the order in this race. So there is opportunities here to get stuff done and get potential moves done. But we need to try and stay close to Stroll if we can to pick up that toe on the back straight. This time I'm using rich mix and overtake ERS. I want to really try and get close to Lance Stroll if possible. Here comes Grosjean though, picking up a brilliant toe off of me. However, I've got some great straight line speed of my own. I'm going to cover off the inside line and force Grosjean the long way round. Grosjean doesn't quite make the move. A little bit of contact there. I did come back into the racing line slightly, but Grosjean was never even alongside me. So in my book, that's fair and square. DRS now enabled. However, we are not close enough to Stroll. Hopefully we can get close enough as the lap progresses here. At the moment, I've got some decent pace, but I just can't get within that massive train of cars, which are basically slipstreaming each other. We get close over the lap, and then they pull away right at the end, which is really frustrating. So I'm kind of relying on some big battles. Meanwhile, Ricciardo does come
Daniel's in the pits.
Very early stop, but we saw McLaren in last lap, and Ricciardo's not the only one in the pit lane. Here comes Grosjean, he's going to get close. Up the inside of turn 1 he goes. We're going to go on the outside here. Ericsson behind us, lurking in the Sauber. That car, no slouch in a straight line. We are going to nab some DRS though from Grosjean here. Back into Rich Mix. I'm going to rely on the Rich Mix alone to try and get me back past the Haas driver here for P12. Here we go in the tow. Pulling to the inside. It's very tight. Grosjean giving me just enough room, but we get the move done. And it's a great re-overtake on the Frenchman, and we also managed to get a bit of a gap out in the process. Let's try and catch up. There's a massive train now. I think Hartley's leading the train here, and you can see there's about 6 cars congested within it, so we need to get close to it if we can. Oh, yellow flag. Something's happened. Might be in front of us. Yes, it is. There's been a crash. There's been contact. There's Hamilton and Gasly out of the race. Safety car deployed. And what the hell has happened there? Oh my lord. Right then, that's interesting. Good thing is, we're on this tyre. We can go long into the race onto these, so I'm not too concerned about that. I'm really curious. I'm going to watch that one back after the race and the replays, but that looked like a pretty hefty crash.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Yeah, Hamilton's out of the race, as is Pierre Gasly, so they're both out. 2 contenders and 2 people that would normally be ahead of me on track. They're out of the Grand Prix, which is fantastic news. However, those guys that are going to come into the pit lane this lap are going to gain massively because of the safety car. Let's slow down here because of the delta. We need to be careful to not get caught out. Plenty of cars in the pit lane here. And we're going to gain loads of positions up into 7th place. And there we go. Lovely stuff. We're going to rejoin just in front of Sergio Perez. So really, really good stuff here so far. Another retirement there. So guys, Sirotkin out in the other Williams, so that's 3 retirements now in the safety car period. Very interesting. This race now is blown wide open. We are definitely in contention now with the strategy and how everything's worked out. However, I'm a little bit concerned, even though we're in the mix with P6 with our strategy, that this might allow the people on 2 stoppers to go for a 1. And I'm really curious now to see what they do, obviously considering the possible threat of rain at the end of the Grand Prix. In a way, there's a lot of unknown now about the strategy, so in that regard it's pretty interesting. However, it's going to make our tyre life and a strategy possible a lot easier, so that's good news. And also, I'm trying to save enough fuel to go to the end on Rich Mix. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, because Rich Mix makes a huge difference to this Red Bull car. I've noticed that even more than what ERS does. This car in Rich Mix is so much faster, and we're really competitive when we have Rich Mix at our disposal. Right, then the safety car is in this lap. So let's get ready for the restart here. Maximum engine modes engaged. Let's get a last bit of tyre warm up if possible. A little bit of brake and accelerator messing around here, trying to really maximise tyre temperatures. Really trying to get them nice and toasty if possible. Right then, Rich Mix engaged. Hot lap PRS as well. On the limiter here. Any second now we'll get going. And I'm ready. There we go. We're going away here, we're racing. I can't overtake Stroll just yet. Now we can. Let's commit to the overtake. Overtake ERS engaged. Into turn 1. Do we have enough temperature in the tyres for the move? Yes, we do. Just about. A little bit of a squirmish rear end. Stroll gets the switch back on me. Stroll does lock up though into the corner. We go around the outside. It's going to be a battle of traction, and Stroll has more than me on those super softs. However, we do have the benefit of the tow. No way through there. Stroll locks up. Grosjean goes around the outside. Oh, that was close. We've just made it work though. Stroll though keeping his car on the inside line. We're going around the outside yet again here. Side by side, a traction battle. And Stroll just edges in front and makes it work. Fair play, that was a good little scrap there. Stroll going defensive already here, very early on. I'm not going to commit to anything into here though, this is too tight of a section. Let's just try and use Stroll as a bit of a slipstream. He'll be fast on the straights in that Williams, so that'll be our chance to get past. Also, DRS is disabled now for a couple of laps, so it's going to help us out massively. I notice there's a yellow flag behind. Seems like it's a Mercedes, but he's got going. It's Valtteri Bottas from what I can tell on the mini-map. Meanwhile here, Stroll's got a decent gap out, and Grosjean's lurking, but we're just picking up a toe on Stroll. Here comes the Force India though. That's something I cannot match. Look at the Force India of Sergio Perez go on fresh super softs. And Grosjean goes late on the brakes, and I get completely destroyed into the brake zone there. Can't compete with that, unfortunately. Grosjean goes defensive, locks up a little bit. That's going to put him on the back foot. We pick up the traction here on the Haas. Can we try and get the rear overtake? Overtake ERS engaged. We're going to commit to the inside. Exact same move as before. Very close, good squeeze from Grosjean, but we make it work. And we are ahead of the Haas. And Perez has made the move very swiftly there on Lance Stroll. Perez is the man who's looking in pole position now. He made an early stop just before that safety car, and he's on fresh super soft, so he's going to be the favourite here to get past all these cars in front of us. Here comes Grosjean yet again in the Haas. A lot of momentum. No DRS enabled just yet, so he's really got some good speed there. Now DRS is enabled. Into turn 1, Grosjean goes for the inside. We hold it around the outside line. Into turn 2, though, Grosjean does edge in front, which allows me to get DRS on the back straight. We don't really find great traction though, so we're on the back foot slightly here, and I've not got much ERS deployment left. Can we get back past Grosjean here? I don't think we can. On the brakes late, Grosjean goes defensive, but no way through, unfortunately, and we have to concede the position for now. Well, we've lost contact with Grosjean slightly, but it's critical that we stay within DRS range, which we have done. We can now actually save ERS and run it in none. Actually, I should be okay to just use rich mix alone, and there we go, we stick with Grosjean quite nicely. So I'm going to actually not commit to the overtake. I'm going to just sit back for now, let Grosjean take the position. I don't need to commit to anything there. Ericsson looking for the move up the inside, but he is quite far back. This is a good chance for me to save ERS around a track where if you have ERS and, you know, a fuel mix to burn, you're going to be competitive. So let's just use rich mix for now. Right, then we've got Daniel Ricciardo behind us here, my teammate, looking for the overtake. He's going to lose a bit of momentum there by not picking up my slipstream, so we're going to be able to stay in front of Ricciardo for now. Hot on the brakes into turn 1 there. Very late on the brakes, that's what caused me to go deep. That's going to allow Ricciardo up the inside of turn 2. I don't really want to battle too hard against my teammate, however, I want that slipstream. And a virtual safety car deployed now. I wonder what's happened now. There was a yellow flag on the last lap, but I don't know what that virtual safety car might be for. Really strange race so far. I've never had a virtual safety car and a safety car in the same race. Okay, VSC ending here. There we go, green flag. Let's get back up to racing speed. Lost a little bit of ground to Grosjean in that VSC period. And Grosjean is now on the back of Brendan Hartley. So I'm going to leave it in hot lap and rich mix here to try and stay competitive. Ricciardo looking for a move through here in the other Red Bull car. We're definitely going to be out of DRS this lap. Grosjean's got a lovely toe off of Hartley in front. Here comes Ricciardo. So I'm not going to fight this one too much. We'll let Ricciardo go here. So I'm going to concede and go to medium. There's a Ferrari going slow here, and it's Kimi Raikkonen. Raikkonen going slow, and we've gained a handful of positions. Ricciardo also backed out. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have to watch the back on the replay, but a big bit of confusion, and that's put us into 4th place now behind Brendan Hartley here. So this race is absolutely banana so far. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm not complaining. We're in 4th place and we're playing our cards right and we're making it all work. So let's just keep this going. It's starting to get cloudy now, so the rain could be on the way. Right, then we've got Esteban Ocon for company here in the Force India. I'm just not even going to waste my time fighting this guy because the Force India is just stupid in a straight line basically. Hartley comes in, so we lose the position to the Force India. We are going to get back into 4th place though. Let's just follow Ocon here and get some DRS on the back straight. That way we can defend from Ricciardo. Personal best. So we're still running at a good pace. It's just such an interrupted pace due to overtakes and just general shenanigans this race that it's hard to really get a rhythm going. But so far, we're P4. I'm doing a good job. And we've only got one more lap until our pit window. Here comes Danny Rick. He's gaining on me. He pulls to the left-hand side. He's got the momentum. His Red Bull definitely seems to have some pretty good straight line speed, but I think he's coming to the pit lane. So there you go. Ricciardo concedes. We remain in that position. Another personal best here.
Daniel's in for his stop.
And then another personal best, 2 in a row. We're scheduled to come in this lap, but I might try and extend my stint by one more, just to be in a more favourable position at the end of the race. I don't mind losing track position to Daniel. That's not my concern. I want to make sure I finish in the top 6 or something like that, or top 7 in this race, and score some decent points. Right, I think I'm going to change my mind here because it's gotten a hell of a lot more cloudy than I expected. Literally on this lap, it's got so cloudy, it's ridiculous. So we might as well come in and cash in, because I think the rain might be coming a little bit sooner than I expected. So let's just play it safe, because I still want to maximise this super soft tyre stint if I can. So 2.5 stop, no traffic, no hold up, which is perfect. And there's Ricciardo now. If we can come out just behind him, that'd be great. But I think it's going to be a little bit further behind, and just behind that Toro Rosso, I think. That'd be my guess. On the power now, early on. There goes Romain Grosjean. We're going to get DRS, which is good. Brendan Hartley behind us. We get the traction switched on straight away, and we managed to get in front of the Toro Rosso. And we're currently in 9th place, which is decent track position. So now we also have the benefit of the super soft compound tyres. So let's switch these on and put them to good use and try and make some moves here. Weather report.
We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment. Watch out. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
That's very interesting. That rain has switched so quick. About 3-4 laps ago, it said about 15 minutes away, and all of a sudden now the rain could arrive at any moment. That's completely thrown me off, because I could have maybe stayed out on the soft. So I need to really be cautious, because you never know, the weather might switch again and the rain might not arrive at all. But at the same time, I need to be a little bit more aggressive here and push on. So let's try and get past Grosjean while we're close enough. Little gaggle of cars in front as well, with Stroll, I think that is, leading the gaggle. So we can close up the gap there. We can definitely get a few positions. Got the momentum there. I kind of caught Grosjean off guard a little bit. I didn't really have the engine modes engaged, but we've definitely got the pace in this tyre now. We've all closed up to Grosjean, not just myself, Hartley as well. I think there's a couple of Renaults behind me as well. So we've all closed up to Grosjean here because of the DRS. But we're now up into 8th place. I think someone was in the pit lane last lap. But now's the time to make the move. So this is going to be the lap. We need to make sure that we try and get a gap to Hartley if we can, so he doesn't go for the double overtake. That was perfect. Completely focused on the exit, and that worked out beautifully. Here we go through the S's. We're well within DRS this time. Hartley's pretty close there behind me, so we've got to be aware. We need that DRS ASAP, because that Toro Rosso is fast in a straight line. Here comes Hartley. He's going to commit to the inside. So am I. We're going to have to go to the outside now, as Hartley makes it awkward for me. Around the outside into turn 1. Double overtake. Oh, that's close, but we've made it work fantastically well. Oh my god, Hartley's come from absolutely miles away to make the move there. I did not expect that, and Hartley's going to commit to the inside again here. Hartley going for the double overtake. And I think it's starting to rain. I can see some raindrops. Yeah, it's starting to rain already here. Hartley, though, made the move. We're going to go back up the inside. Yellow front wing damage. Risky move. And it hasn't paid off. Grosjean now going up the inside here. Oh my god, now it's orange. Why did the AI do that?
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
It's all gone wrong for me in a couple of seconds. The AI always do the same thing. They make the move, they commit, or they defend, but they leave their car right in the middle of the track and then they hit the brakes. This rain has arrived so early, man. I could have stayed out on the softs. This has backfired massively on us, and now we're going to need a front wing change. It's not ended up well for us. We need to try and nurse this damage. Orange front, left front wing. Luckily, I was running, I think, only 2 front wings, so the damage isn't that bad. It doesn't feel that bad. Sainz commits to an overtake, though, and I can't really do much about it, unfortunately. Here comes Hulkenberg as well. I'm just kind of assessing my options at the moment and trying to see what I can do strategy-wise. Into turn 1, the Renaults go side by side. We swing right back underneath. Can we get anything out of this? They're still side by side here. I'm going to focus on the exit. One's on soft, the other one is on super softs. We have some ERS to burn. Sainz is the one with the DRS. Hulkenberg picking up the slipstream. I'm going to commit to the inside. Sainz brakes early. We're going to go up the inside of Hulkenberg, though. We can still race with this front wing damage, which is quite surprising. But the rain is now coming down thick and fast here. Ricciardo's not that far in front of us on the racetrack, so it's now become critical that we time the switch to inters perfectly. We need to try and foresee the change to come in a lap before Ricciardo, so we don't get held up, because we're going to have a front wing change. So if we get held up and have a front wing change, it's going to relegate us to finishing way outside the point. So we need to get this right. Okay, I'm just starting to lose some grip now, so this might be the one. I've already called in for a pit stop. I'm starting to lose that grip and the front end. The amount of time it takes to do a pit stop here, and also I'm going to get a front wing change as well. Hopefully by the time I come out, I would have got the switch to inters perfect. I'm kind of hoping it stays at this level and no one comes in this lap, because that's the only way we're going to pull some time back on the AI and solidify this points finish. Right then, we haven't got much to lose. I'm only in P10. Hulkenberg though goes to the inside quite strangely. I'm committing to this pit stop. I'm going to roll the dice and see what happens. We're going to come in for the intermediates. Hopefully it's not too risky of a call and we get it right. We're going to need a front wing change as well, but the grip is fading and I'm basically trying to foresee the rain and try and jump the queue. Also, I'm trying to avoid a Ricciardo stack in the pit lane. So let's see what happens here. Very slow stop. 8.3, there we go, underway now. I'm praying this rain starts to come down even more, but we're going to drop down to pretty much last place here. So here we go, at the pit lane. Up to speed, we've got a reference point in the form of Stoffel Van Dorn, so let's see. Raikkonen's down in P17, so he's still miles away from that crash earlier. Maybe Van Dorn was the one that triggered the VSC also, who knows, but let's see what these inters feel like. Hopefully we don't burn them up. The track doesn't look that wet so far. The rain's been coming down at a massive amount. It seems to have calmed down a bit, but surely it will start picking up soon. That doesn't feel great already though, I can't lie. So far it feels 50-50. We've not really lost or gained any time to Van Dorn this lap. However, the AI have not come in, so that means there's a possibility there. That was a massive wobble though, through there. Rear tyre's probably getting hot. Okay, they're not that hot so far, but Van Dorn does come in, so maybe he's the first one. Fuel-wise though, I'm miles down on fuel now for some reason. Don't know what's happened there, but I'm so far down on fuel now. I'm going to have to save some petrol if I can. Does Van Dorn go for inters? That's what I'm wanting to see, and he does go for inters. So Van Dorn's the first of the AI cars to realise its intermediate conditions. So now's our chance. Hot lap DRS engaged. Let's try and make this lap count. DRS disabled. There you go. And no one's come in, so we're going to get a full lap to try and make up on these guys. So we need to make sure this lap is perfect. Daniel's in. I wonder how many more cars are in either way. Let's see if we've made up for that lost time that we had to do for a front wing change. That's the critical time that we're trying to overturn here. I personally think it's too much time to make up, but we shall see. Track still doesn't feel great on these tyres, but it's slowly improving for these. Oh my days. Oh my days, why is the car wobbling so much? That's so scary. Alright, let's see. I'm guessing everyone's come in, but I'm not too confident, I can't lie. There they are, all leaving the pit lane now, so we never know, we might have a chance actually. It's better than what I thought. Here we go. Bottas has gone for super softs, quite interestingly, in the Mercedes. There's Hulkenberg, and that's for P10, so we are back in the race here. We have recovered the lost time for a front wing change. That could have been another front wing change right there. That was so close. Well, we're P11 on the cusp of the points. Hulkenberg right in front of us. Can we try and get past the Renault? That's the question. Magnussen around the outside is so intense in these conditions now. Got to be so careful. We do stay ahead though, that's critical. Do we have the pace with intermediates around this circuit in this car to score a single point? Let's find out. Yep, that chicane's going to mess me up so bad because Magnussen gets the run on me. Every single car is going to get the run on me if I keep on sliding through that chicane, so not much I can really do, to be honest with you. Tyres are also overheating as well, so it's not ideal. Into turn one. Do we have the grip around the outside of Magnussen? Yes, we do. We stay ahead, just about. I don't think we're scoring points today though. We're struggling big time on these tyres for overheating issues. I'm going to check over now to the temperature gauge. You can see they're green for now, but we just had a massive straight. The tyre wear alone suggests that we're cooking our tyres. So this ain't looking good for us, unfortunately. Back end slipping out and the braking again there. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. This ain't gonna end well. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Right, so looking at the final race result, Sebastian Vettel wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix ahead of Perez and Ocon. Charles Leclerc in an incredible 4th place for Sauber there. Daniel Ricciardo, my teammate, 5th ahead of Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley there. Carlos Sainz 8th ahead of Roman Grosjean and Nico Hulkenberg. And then we have Kevin Magnussen just missing out on the points. And further down in the order, you can see Hamilton retired, Gasly retired, Sirotkin, Alonso, myself, Kimi a lap down, and Bottas also struggling there. And very disappointing race for us. Ultimately, I'm not disappointed. I mean, if you look at the fastest laps, we had the 3rd slowest lap. So, yeah, I'm glad this race is over. I really am. You know, we can move on to Spain, which is going to be much more exciting. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, we dropped down to 8th place, and we're now just in front of Ricciardo. Hamilton overtakes us, as does Esteban Ocon. Perez leads away by 2 points over Sebastian Vettel, who's chasing. And in the constructors, you can see that we jump up into 4th place thanks to Ricciardo's points finish, and we leapfrog Mercedes. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just happy this race is over now, and we can focus on tracks that I know I'll be faster at because my track record says so. So yeah, let's move to the laptop and let's see if we can try and put some upgrades on the car as well.
Bad luck out there today. What do you think went wrong? That crash looked pretty serious. Can you walk me through what happened? It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Did you feel comfortable in the wet weather today? Great! Well, that's everything.
Right then, so it's contract negotiation time, and I think this ain't going to go well. Right, so we're going to propose the first contract offer. We're going into a series of races now where I should perform pretty well, and I feel confident I can do a job. So we've removed the pit stop efficiency, so we'll take a blow on the pit stops. Simultaneous development, 3 upgrades per department, upgrade speed reduced by 1 week, and race bonus. So let's see what happens and see what they say.
We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises.
Right, that's fair enough. I know what I'll do. I'll just knock down the simultaneous development to 2 upgrades per department.
Okay, that proposal looks good. It seems all parties are happy with the deal, so it'll commence at the next race weekend.
Right, that's not too bad. Considering our terrible start to the season, that's not too bad. But we have 1,455 points to spend. We are the 2nd best team, admittedly, although it's very close with other competitors around us. Now, I've got to be honest, the engine side of things is looking very developed, and I'm still seeing no performance. So I'm starting to think, is it worth going elsewhere? I'm thinking chassis, because if we work on the chassis and make the car lighter, we might be able to really make it effective. First of all, as you can see here, we have quality control for failures, which is pretty good, and also efficiency in terms of the actual cost to make things cheaper. Now, I saw a few comments saying I should make upgrades cheaper because they're getting really expensive. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, do I go for it or do I just keep piling upgrades on? So for this episode, I am just going to go for a major upgrade, but I want you guys to tell me in the comments down below, should I focus on making the upgrades cheaper, especially in the engine department? Maybe try and get the price down a bit. Let me know, and I can work towards that. But for now, we are going to focus on weight redistribution, and that should arrive for Monaco. So with that in mind, that's going to be our points spent up for this episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, considering the struggles. And if you did enjoy it, leave a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. Also, turn on notifications, guys, to not miss a single video from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching so much this episode of Career Mode, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.